following podcast is recorded and produced by the Podcast Precinct in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com. The Podcast Precinct. Consistency, creativity, culture.
The Nostalgia Funhouse proudly dedicates all episodes in the loving memory of Connie Chirac. Hey, Johnny, have you talked to Matt? Is he supposed to be here? What's going on with him?
He told me he would be here 15 minutes ago, and it's just me and you waiting in line for whatever this is. I don't even know what this is.
I think it's still the Nostalgia Funhouse. They changed
I didn't know if they changed their name again. They do that, yeah.
They get creative that stuff every once in a while.
They do. Where is Matt?
Where is he? I feel like he was late last time, too.
Yeah. Oh. Whoa, there's Matt.
Oh, hey.
Guys, oh my God. Oh, I gotta pee.
You just got here.
I went before I left and now I gotta pee again.
Do you need to go to the doctor?
No. I hope not.
It's a lot of pee, my friend.
There's so much pee. Hey guys, I do this really fun trick where I stick my finger in my belly button.
Oh, well, if you have to go pee now, I'll go with you, and I'll try this too.
Yeah. Andrew, you want to come watch?
No, I'm good. I'm going to save this place.
Oh, Andrew, you got to come watch. Come on. That's what a good friend would do.
I'm good. I'm going to save this place. Save our place in life.
Johnny, I'll show you what I do when nobody else is watching.
Oh, now I'm really intrigued. Something I can't wait for. You know what else I can't wait for? This sponsor.
Thursday.
Merry Christmas, City Slicker.
America's favorite fat cat is going home for the holidays.
Gadgets, toys, greed.
A Garfield Christmas special. Then climb aboard with the California Raisins.
Next reindeer's due any minute.
It's the Emmy-winning Claymation Christmas celebration. Thursday after Garfield.
That's right, Andrew. And that's because we have great shows, just great entertainment, and great back and forth, I think.
And we do. And we have great guests because our guest, as I was saying that, looked very shockingly at me that I made that statement until I finished it because he operates the BICBP radio network. And
he does?
Yeah.
He does he? What else does he do?
Also puts his finger in his belly button as he pees.
Yeah, well, that just proves his level of genius. I mean, I didn't think about that.
Does that too.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about sticking my finger anywhere when I go pee, and now it's all I think about.
So let's talk to the podcast master, podfather, and also guest tea guru, Matt Johnson.
What up? Great intro, guys. How we doing?
The Sultan of Urination. How's it going?
That's a great nickname. Yeah, I'm doing well. It is nice to actually have time to talk to you guys. It's been quite some time. I can't even remember the last time I did an episode with you guys.
It's been eons.
Yeah, I think it was
peons. What?
It's been peons.
It's when it was a different name.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
You're the second guest and first guest we've had not named Brian Finch on the show.
That's right.
Interesting. Well, I feel honored.
Or Barney Finch / Barney.
Well, you shouldn't. We beg everybody.
Yeah.
Do you?
Well, I do. Andrew tells me to stop, but I'm really needy.
Good for you. I hate asking people to come on my show. It's terrible.
It is a weird thing, isn't it? Like, it feels weird. Like, even if you know,
it used to be like normal. It used to be like, okay, cool. I want to get as many people as I want to get on. And then they start canceling like the day of, like half an hour before you're supposed to go on. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to talk to anybody because it just becomes a habit. So yeah, I get it. I do hate, like, I don't know. You want to come on my podcast? I see this kid that I actually did a radio show with. It was called Turnbuckle Talk Radio, and he was around the wrestling community, the indie wrestling community around here in Western New York. And every time he'd come across a wrestler, he'd be like, "You want to come on my podcast?" He sounded just like that. Come on the podcast. And would you like some sausage?
Kid from I wonder if it's the kid that I ran into a Blockbuster years ago. Because that's once again an old statement by Andrew. I'll never forget this. This kid came up to the counter. I'm like checking out. And he walks up to the counter and he sounded exactly like that. He goes, "You guys have X-Men?" And then he did, and then like the guy didn't say anything, and he just went "Yeah," and like went away. And I'm like, did that
haven't-
just happen?
I have an
So-
even older statement. The other day, and this is a true story. The other day, I woke up to a lot of texts saying, "Hey, where are you? We want you to come do this with us," as some friends of mine. And I had to report back that I'm sorry. This was in the middle of the day, just FYI. I'm sorry. I fell asleep watching episodes of Bonanza.
I don't find anything wrong with that.
I think it shows my age.
so so
Great.
like that is tremendous, by the way. So like podcasting is like, even before I actually started doing it, it's been like this dirty weird word for me. And I'm just like podcast, want to come on my podcast. So I don't like to ask people. I don't like to ask people. Like my mom does that too. She like, hey, do you listen to Matt's podcast? And I'm like, don't tell people about that. Like it's weird. It's just weird. Don't do that. If
Yeah, my
people wanna
mom. My
listen-
mom's very proud of my podcast, and I even have like a long time ago. Trevor and I made a Retro Bliss T-shirt, and she wears it all the time
really
when she
Oh,
goes
that's
out.
cool.
Yeah, she's very proud of it.
My mom makes her to play 20 questions and asks everybody if they listen to my podcast. But if you ask her if she listens to my podcast,
Oh no.
Oh, my mom's never heard any of mine.
no,
She's heard me record some of them, but that's about it.
My mom
that's
said,
about it, right?
my mom said she'd listen to him to fall asleep. If there was or if there was nothing else on. She goes,
Yeah.
"You listen to this podcast?" I'm like, "No, mom." And then she goes, "I listen to yours when there's nothing else going on." Thanks.
That was nice of her.
I'll take that. None of my relatives listen to anything I do. They could care less.
They can kiss my tuchus. At least
That's why
my
I could-
relatives.
I can say that out loud because I know they don't listen. I'm not worried about any sort of drama from that statement.
I ripped on my grandma one time for being a cheapskate at Christmas, and I knew I was okay because she doesn't listen.
See, there you go.
We rip on all grandmas here. That's part of our show.
Yeah.
This, of course, is the grandma ripping section. So please, if you have a grandma insult, now is the time.
I don't think I could ever rip on my grandma.
I feel too guilty since both of mine have passed now, and I don't think I can do it.
Yeah,
in
I
good
don't do
conscience.
Don't do that. Don't be me. I was not a good person.
I don't think because I didn't ever had the normal standard kind of like grandma that was like, "Hey, let me cook you dinner." She was like, "I made reservations at this place."
Oh,
Like, like no home baked cookies. It was like, "What kind of cookies do you want?" type grandma.
right. Yeah.
So I didn't have the contact grandma. So I like when people are like, "My grandma did this and she knit me a sweat." I'm like, I think my grandma bought me one time.
Yeah. My grandma like that, she unfortunately passed away in 08, but like all my other grandparents, it gets so weird seeing people have like these super close, tight-knit relationship with their grandparents for me. Cause I never had it. It was weird. You see each other once, a handful of times a year, maybe.
I grew up very close to both of mine, but I also benefited from the fact that both sets of my grandparents lived in my area too. I think that's a big part of it. Too,
that
right?
helps out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that helps out tremendously.
That does.
All right. So now, do we want to talk about urine?
Yeah, I think we've covered all the heavy topics going
Yeah,
on.
with urine, we have we've covered them.
Ripping on your grandmother, not ripping on your grandmother, having a grandmother that you like, see my and everything else. So
This
I
is
think
must listen podcasting.
yeah, I think we've covered a lot of stuff in
I think we
a
have.
short amount of time.
Well, Matt, thanks for being on the show. So
Oh, it's my pleasure,
Andrew,
guys.
I'm Johnny.
It was my absolute pleasure.
At the King of
Goodbye.
Urine. I swear, if I see you on some late night infomercial or like you're one of my YouTube ads, I'm gonna lose my mind for about helping urination. Are you having pee problems? Stick your finger in your belly
I
button.
can't wait to see Matt to show up on Shark Tank.
Nah, I'm
Belly
gonna,
button
be,
swirl.
I'm gonna be showing up on like Pornhub or something. Just
That's what I meant. Pornhub's version of Shark Tank,
yeah.
where Mark Cuban doesn't wear pants.
He's gonna fly in on the Nimbus 2000.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
So, like we said, we've covered everything.
Yeah.
Today we're not gonna be doing it. We're gonna kick it over to the lovely
Somehow, Andrew, we have And this was very tricky for us to do. A lot of legal mumbo jumbo hurdles we had to get through to get this exclusive audio of this court case, because they did not allow cameras in there. So we're very lucky for this. It's, of course, the court case against Scott Calvin. And he's wanted for murder of Santa Claus. And we're going to find out once and for all, is Scott Calvin going to jail? What do you think, Andrew? Just real quick, thoughts on this.
I think he's fine. I mean, I've watched the movie. I think he's 100% fine. I think he's going to get out of this scot-free. No pun intended on that one at all. But I don't see any problem with what happened in that movie with Scott Calvin and Santa Claus and that whole shebang there.
For some reason, I just feel the need to say that he's guilty. I don't know why. Matt, real quick, your feelings. Do you think Scott Calvin's guilty of murder?
It's hard. There's a lot of, there's a lot of legality that goes into that. So I'm not sure. If I was a betting man, I would say that Scott Calvin is innocent, and things kind of shit happens.
Yeah. Well, Andrew, Matt, I guess without any more delay, let's get on out there to this incredible historical court case on Pop Culture Court. Hear ye. The Honorable Judge Howard Langston, please stand as he enters the room.
You may be seated. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my courtroom. We are here to put on trial Scott Calvin and see if he is guilty in the murder of Santa Claus. I need opening statements, please and thank you, now.
Your Honor, I am just here. I represent the United States of America. My name is Bubba Fingersocket, and before we get started, I just want to start with a prayer. So if we could all just bow our heads and close our eyes. Dear Southern Baptist Jesus, that's the only Jesus that we know is real and true. All other Jesuses are just the fakeses. But we just hope and pray to you, dear sweet Southern Baptist Jesus, that this court will find the truth, which we all know is that this man is a sinner and a murderer. And we say all this in Jake DeLome's most precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Hey.
Don't do that again in my courtroom.
I was going to say, Your Honor, I'm not doing anything with the Southern Baptist guy. Okay, if you ain't doing the cross and making sure you get all your saints and your Virgin Marys and everything else, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Make sure you include all religions there, Mr. Fingersocket.
I forgot to mention.
Where are you from?
I forgot to mention that I'm an atheist.
I know guys.
What is going on?
We don't discuss religion in that here courtroom, but I also want to say we, as the United States of America, do plan to find that this Scott Calvin, he is as guilty as a day is long, Your Honor, of just murdering one of the icons of the world, that there Saint Nicholas himself.
All right, get to the evidence.
Here we go, Your Honor. First of all, I want to bring up this here point. If you can see here in this video evidence, one Scott Calvin walks outside of his house when Santa Claus is on the roof. And first of all, I want to point out that Scott Calvin is in his boxers and is not wearing any pants, Your Honor. That is ridiculous, and I would dare say indecent exposure.
It's time for you to chill.
There was snow on the ground, and he was in just his skivvies.
Get to the point.
I did. The point is, he was half naked as he was also murdering Santa Claus. Santa Claus was on the roof doing their job, Your Honor. And then here comes this malicious, this awful Scott Calvin coming in there and said, "Hey, you," and that startles one their Santa Claus, leading to his early demise.
All right, the defendant, say what you got to say.
Hello, Your Honor. Frank Amarelli here. I just want to say, my client, Mr. Kelvin, is completely 100% not guilty of this situation. If you look at what was happening, my man was going outside in his boxes. Maybe it was hot inside. Maybe he didn't want to wear full pajamas. Who's that your business? Who is that your business? Don't judge a man. Only God can judge a man. So he goes outside and he's looking and he sees this guy on the roof. What are you gonna do when you see a guy on the roof? You're gonna say, hey, what are you doing on my roof? It's Christmas time. You don't know. There could be some guy stealing your presents. You don't know what's going on. And this guy, he loses a footing and he falls. That's on him. You wear some good footwear. If you don't know where to get some, I'll send you over to my boy Nino. He's down there. I'll give you his card. He get you good shoes. He get you real good shoes. You can walk on roofs. You could do anything in those things. And so that is why I don't think Scott Calvin did it. This is all on Santa.
Objection, Your Honor. Scott Calvin is indeed the murderer because Santa Claus, who else would be on that there roof on Christmas Eve other than old Saint Nick himself? And on top of that, I forgot to mention that after this terrible, horrible murder of Santa Claus, that this here awful monster, Scott Calvin, put on Santa Claus's clothes, Your Honor.
Hey, the guy disappeared. He left his clothes. It's a little chilly outside. You don't want to get anything going on. It's cold. He's a guy. Throw out his clothes.
Order in the courtroom.
I'll have a cheeseburger, Your Honor. I always wanted to do that. I apologize. But in the meantime, Your Honor, I just want to point out that sure, yes, the Santa Claus himself did disappear. But what right does that give you after you've killed him to take their clothes, Your
You
Honor?
bring up a good point.
Hey,
Identity theft is not a joke.
objection, Your Honor. I just gotta say,
Overruled.
can I-
That's right, Your Honor. That's right. At the very least, if this is a murder, this at the very least is that their identity a theft.
Do you have a response?
It is, Your Honor. Okay, it's very simple. All right. So my uncle Joey passed away. God rest his soul. When he passed away, were we just supposed to throw out his clothes? No, we went through his closet. There was a nice pair of slacks, a nice shirt, a beautiful shirt, just beautiful. I don't know what it was made out of, but let's just say you ain't eating pasta with this shirt on because you gotta get like the sheet like John Travolta and
Objection, Your Honor. I don't know what this means.
So we took my Uncle Joey's clothes and we got him. So that guys, what are you gonna do with this clothes? You're gonna put them on.
Yes.
You can
But
wear
the
them.
point is, there's no talking in my courtroom unless I tell you to. Okay.
You just said what is
Overruled.
so what is the point? Hey, I don't like this guy.
I just also want to point out, Your Honor, that this here lawyer for Scott Calvin, and God bless his heart, but he's the worst thing I've ever seen with two eyes.
Here's the
But
thing.
God rest his soul, Your Honor. God bless him, but I hate his guts.
Here's the thing: that you were the family, and you were informed of your uncle's passing, and then you were told about the clothes. Did Scott Calvin reach out to Mrs. Claus and inform her of her husband's death?
That's the other thing, Your Honor. We find out later that
Objection!
I apologize, Your Honor. I did not mean to interrupt that court. God bless my soul. I'm stupid.
All right, we're lunch recess. We'll be back in 5.
I hope I get that cheeseburger.
It means I have to pee. God. Okay, court is back in session. Apparently, if you have to use the bathroom, if you have to pee, if you take your finger and shove it in your anus, it feels really good to go to the bathroom.
Your
You're
Honor,
welcome.
I can totally agree. That's why I came back here with that erection in my pants.
You guys are like some of them freaky freaks out there. Hey, can we just get back to this court case, Your Honor?
Don't call me a
Scott
freaky
Calvin.
freak.
Your Honor, I do have a couple more points if the court is pleased.
I'm all ears.
Good, Your Honor. Here we go. We brought up recently about Mrs. Claus, but here's the thing. After Scott Calvin murdered Santa Claus, there was no sign of Mrs. Claus. So I bring up to you, Your Honor, and to this court that he also had something to do with the disappearance of Mrs. Claus, because she hasn't been seen nor heard from since this here incident.
Yana, was there a ring? Was there a ring? Was there a ring? Was there a ring on that guy?
Her name is Mrs. Claus. What don't you understand?
But was there a ring? Maybe Mrs. Claus was dipping into some, some
Was it
healthy
incest?
stuff
You
going
don't
on.
just have the same last name as your spouse unless you're married.
Well, maybe
It's so
she kept the name.
frustrating.
Maybe she kept the name. Maybe she kept the name. You don't know her. You don't know her, okay? You know her? You know her? Because let me tell you, my cousin, she got divorced, okay? She got divorced. She kept the name. She kept
This guy's related to everybody.
Hey. We don't do that stuff, okay? I don't know what you do down in the South, but up here,
We do dirty.
but I'm just saying, how do you know Santa was married? Maybe Mrs. Claus died a couple years ago.
There's literally
Maybe
a clause.
They got a divorce.
If
I'm
you're
just
Santa
saying,
Claus, you
I did
have to
not
have a
see a
Mrs.
ring.
Claus, Your Honor. It's in the clauses. When you get married, when you become Santa Claus, you have to get married and have a Mrs. Claus.
It's in the rules.
It's
I
in
want
the
Santa
rules.
Claus too.
That's right, Your Honor. And this is before Martin Short showed up and ruined everything in Santa Claus 3.
I'm just saying, I didn't see a ring.
And
Scott
I'm
didn't
also,
see a
you
ring.
didn't
Nobody
see
saw
her
a
at
ring.
all, because she is gone, my friend. You didn't see her at all.
I'm just saying, if you could show me a ring, just show me a ring.
We can't show you
Because
anything,
once again-
sir.
If you needed a ring, I know a guy that could get her a ring. Okay, But
Sir,
there was no ring.
well,
No
sir,
ring.
God bless your heart, but you're being as stupid as that there horse. I'm just
Whoa,
trying to.
whoa, no name calling.
I said God bless you first.
Okay, all's forgiven. Apologize.
That is an apology from me, a good Southern gentleman. Your Honor, I also want to bring up that once Scott Calvin showed up at that there North Pole, that none of the elves seemed to care that the previous Santa was dead. So I present to you that the elves were also in on this, Your Honor. They were in cahoots, if I may say, with one
This is some
Scott
deep
Calvin.
state stuff.
I don't.
This
think,
might have to go to the high courts.
I don't think my client, Mr. Calvin, was involved in anything.
I also think that Scott Calvin shot JFK, Your Honor.
Oh my God.
And I bet the ball went off of his hands too for the immaculate reception. It wasn't Frenchy Francois. But hey, you can't just blame everything for this man. This man just went outside. He heard something on his roof. He said, "Hey, what's that guy doing?" He said, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing on my roof?" The guy fell. He helped him. He tried to do what he did. The guy disappeared, maybe because he thought the guy was breaking into his house. All I'm saying is, hey, we've all been there, or we all know what to do in these situations.
Your Honor, I present to you that this here Scott Calvin, and I may not have any physical evidence to support this, but he's also Jack the Ripper.
Son of a bitch.
Now we're just getting crazy, Yana. How are you got?
He also started NFTs all by himself.
Oh, he's a monster. He needs to go to jail. That isn't my final decision, but it may or may not play a part in it.
I'm just saying, Yana. Closing arguments right here.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
tell you, Mike. Hey, did I say you can have your closing arguments?
No, but it's
No,
me.
don't, no buts.
It's me. Hey,
No
Yana,
buts.
it's me, Frankie. Okay.
Put your sass down now. All right, gentlemen.
Your Honor, real quick before
Don't
you say
interrupt
anything,
me.
I've just wanted to say that girls have vaginas and boys have a penis.
It's 2022. You cannot say that out loud.
Oh, I learned that from kindergarten cop.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
I never knew him. He went off to get a pack of cigarettes, Your Honor, when I was 12 years old, and he never came back. So
My
to
dad-
this day, I hate cigarettes.
My daddy,
Understood.
he's a waste management consultant. Okay.
That's not suspicious or anything. Regardless, closing arguments, gentlemen. First, the prosecutor.
Your Honor, I just want to say that on top of all this, I know for a fact I'm not just making this here thing up, but that this Scott Calvin also knows where the body of Jimmy Hoffa is, and he's not talking. Your Honor, it's time for us to do something about this monster, about this careless, no good. I mean, God bless his heart, but he's a piece of human garbage, Your Honor, and he for sure took over the reins of Santa Claus on purpose. He's maliciously planned to murder that man and take over all the power so he can run that North Pole, Your Honor, and I'm pretty sure he was behind the Amityville Horror House.
Defendant.
So, Your Honor, my client Scott Calvin, like I said before, my colleague, I guess you can say over there, he makes some good points. But like I said, Scott Calvin went outside. He heard something. And then the guy fell. All right, that's on that guy. And then the other thing about that, where he's like, hey, he was in conspiracy. He didn't even want the job. He didn't want the job. He said, I don't want to do this. And they were like, no, you got to do this. They made this man gain weight and everything else, even though he said he didn't want the job. So are we going to really punish a man for protecting his house to see who is going in through everything else? No, I don't think we can. My boy is free, clear, not guilty. Case open, shut. Let's go down to the Como because I heard they got a good spread.
Your Honor, real quick, we just had new information rushed into the courthouse just right now. We have on record, Your Honor, from one Al Borland that this here Scott Calvin is constantly causing accidents on the job at his old job where he ran a cable network television 2 show, Your Honor.
I appreciate both your statements. Now I must ask you both this. Santa Claus, was he working? Was he on the clock?
Yes, Your Honor. It was Christmas Eve. He was indeed working.
Thank you for clarifying. According to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, otherwise known as OSHA, while working, if you are on a roof more than 6 feet above the ground, this is OSHA Rule 1910.140. You must have a personal fall protection system in place. OSHA is literally the driving force behind all laws in the United States. Therefore, Santa Claus is at risk, is at fault, and he deserves to die, and I hope he burns in hell.
Your Honor, today justice has died. God bless all our souls.
I award the defendant nothing, but you are free. You are free to leave my courtroom in peace.
Your Honor, I'm just going to say you have set precedent here in which that there Scott Calvin can go on and continue to voice Buzz Lightyear despite the fact that he is way too old now.
Get out of my courtroom before I prosecute you, you piece of shit.
God bless my soul. I am a human piece of garbage. See you later, court.
I gotta go. I'll catch you guys later.
Court is adjourned. I'll be back.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that lovely audio on this episode of Pop Culture Court, brought to you by the Nostalgia Funhouse.
Yeah, a big shout out to the justice system for letting us have that audio exclusive. This is the only place you'll ever hear that.
That was really nice of them.
Yeah, it was. It surely was. That judge sounded really familiar, but I can't place it.
I don't know how we got that audio, considering we can't even afford the ghost of Mr. Chicken. So,
Guys, I may or may not have helped put my finger in somebody's belly button while they were peeing to get that audio. So,
you
are welcome.
You're telling me
the things I will do for my network.
So you didn't. So I didn't
Our
have
network. That's selfish. Our network.
So I didn't have to put my finger in that guy's butthole while he was peeing. Is that what you're saying? I'd do it again though for this show.
Well, no, you didn't have to.
You just out of curiosity
for your podcast.
Yeah. What would you do for your podcast?
Andrew, remember when the show was aimed for kids and stuff?
Yeah, we still go that route every once in a while. There's been a little bit more.
No, this just
ease.
ruined it. This episode just ruined it.
Oh, you can beep it. Just beep it. It's funny to me.
No, don't do it.
I'm not gonna beep it. It's gonna be an E. It's gonna be an E.
Too much editing.
We, I think that's the thing that keeps me from beeping things.
Oh, just for the record, too. I mean, not me, but whoever that Southern lawyer was, he was doing that voice all day, annoying everybody who was around him in preparation for his court case.
I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was.
Even though he's already Southern, so he didn't need to play it up. I don't,
At least he sounded friendly, though.
Those,
Southern people sound friendly,
yeah.
but that's
The
why we bless
blush-
your heart.
There was a little bit of some Southern FUs in there with the bless your heart.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't recognize any of that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, we did it though. We did it. Happy holidays. We hope you have a very safe holiday. Thank you for listening to us. A big shout out to Matt. Matt, where can I'm about doing the voice again. Matt, where can we find you?
I see Jesus. I'm like part-time now. It's nice. What do I do? Okay, so I have a couple shows still left. Actually, I'd kind of do them all, but a lot lighter than I used to. Eat, Sleep, List, the 2 Point Conversation, Retro Pop, panel discussion. I'll be back on after the new year. I'll be starting back with oh god, I hate myself. Crafting and drafting after the new year as well. I'm gonna have no life again. Oh, I can't wait. I think do I do anything else? Oh, Airing of Grievances, which we got to get Star Wars Episode 7. We got to get that all recorded. But check out our wonderful shows at the network, bicbp-radio.com. On the website, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Amazon. Yeah. Enjoy.
I can't believe you have that many shows. That's just not good. That's ridiculous. For anybody to have more than 2 shows is insane.
It's just stupid.
It is. It's
Honestly.
really dumb. Anybody who does it is an idiot.
Now I'm paying the price for it emotionally and mentally. So
I do so many shows where if I get to take one off, it feels like I'm on a sweet vacation. And I love doing all the shows. That's what's the weird part of it. I actually love doing it. But
I have not been to my studio spot in a month.
Jeez.
I haven't been to it ever. So
That's true.
I haven't been there in a year. In over a year.
Yeah. It's been almost a month. I did an Eat Sleep List a couple weeks ago about a month ago, and that was it. So actually 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So it's been a long winter. I just hate driving out there sometimes. I just do. But
Game of Thrones.
yeah.
A long winter.
the dragons never show up. Spoiler alert.
But thank you once again, Matt, for coming on. Also, thank you everybody for listening. Make sure you listen to new episodes of the Nostalgia Funhouse every Sunday, BICBP Radio Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Check out the YouTube channel. Support us on Patreon, $1 a month, exclusive content there. And Johnny, am I missing anything else?
I think you got it all.
All right. Well, then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
I do declare bless your heart.